Welcome to my channel Byte Tech. Microsoft is shutting down Skype in favor of Teams. It's the end of an era. Microsoft is shutting down Skype in May and replacing it with the free version of Microsoft Teams for consumers. Existing Skype users will be able to log into the Microsoft Teams app and have their message history, group chats, and contacts all automatically available without having to create another account. Or they can choose to export their data instead. Microsoft is also phasing out support for calling domestic or international numbers. Skype users will be in control, they'll have the choice, says Jeff Teper, president of Microsoft 365 Collaborative Apps and Platforms. They can migrate their conversation history and their contacts out and move on if they want, or they can migrate to Teams. If you choose to move on and bring your Skype data with you, the exported data will include photos and conversation history. Microsoft also made a tool to easily view existing Skype chat history if you don't want to move to Teams. Skype will remain online until May 5th. So existing users will have around 60 days to decide whether they want to switch to Microsoft Teams or export their data. If they do want to come to Teams, then the first run is pretty instantaneous because we've already done the work on the back end to restore their contacts, message history, and call logs, says Amit Fooley, vice president of product at Microsoft. The transition to Microsoft Teams will keep Skype group chats intact, and during the 60-day window, Microsoft will also maintain interoperability so you can message contacts on Teams and those messages will be delivered to friends still using Skype. If you do move to Microsoft Teams, there's one big part of Skype that's disappearing, though. Microsoft is removing the telephony parts that allow you to call domestic or international numbers or people's cell phones. Part of the reason is we look at the usage and the trends, and this functionality was great at the time when voice over IP, VoIP, wasn't available and mobile data plans were very expensive, explains Fooley. Microsoft will honor existing Skype credits, but it will no longer offer new customers access to paid Skype features that allow you to make or receive international and domestic calls. Existing Skype subscription users will be able to use their Skype credits and subscriptions inside Microsoft Teams until the end of their next renewal period. Existing Skype number users will also need to port their number over to another provider, as Microsoft is no longer supporting this either. The Skype dial pad will be part of Teams temporarily for existing credits and subscriptions, but Microsoft isn't going to offer calling plans to Teams consumers like it does for businesses. The world has really moved on, says Teper. Probably the biggest thing is higher bandwidth and lower data plan cost, from us and others, has really driven almost all of the traffic to VoIP. This was particularly evident in the early stages of the COVID-19 pandemic, when consumers flocked to Zoom instead of Skype. The Skype user base actually grew at the beginning of the pandemic and has been pretty flat since, admits Teper. It's not shrunk in some dramatic way. It has been relatively flat over the last few years. We hope we'll migrate most Skype users, but we want to make sure the users know they're in control. Initially, the vision was to have one experience across work and life, but Teams was new and that was not realistically where we were in 2020, reveals Teper. So we continued to invest in Skype, and about 2 to 3 years ago we started bringing in the free Teams consumer experience with the new client. If you liked my video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to receive notifications about new videos, subscribe to my channel. If you have suggestions on a topic that interests you, write in the comments below this video. If you like my videos and would like to support me, you can buy me a coffee here, https://ko-fi.com/bytetech.